Hey everyone, so today we're going to learn about volume. You probably learned about volume at some point when you were younger, in a younger grade, but basically what it is if you have a 3D figure, which I found this paint container. This is a cylinder. It's how many cubic units would fill up the container. So the figure, whatever it is. We're going to do all different types. Like I said, this is a cylinder. We're going to learn about rectangular prisms, triangular prisms, pyramids, cones, and spheres. So I'm going to do one example of each. Some of it you may remember from, like I said, an earlier grade in school. So first, we're going to do rectangular prism. This is probably the one you recognized the most. The volume of a rectangular prism is just length times width times height. Length, width, height. So you just plug it in. So this one's going to be 18 times 16 times 8. If you put that in your calculator, you'll get 2,304. And now the thing about volume is it's cubic units. So you have to put the units and then it's to the third power like that to show that it's cubic. Because you want 3D units, so that's cubic. Okay, so that's a rectangular prism. Next is a triangular prism. So a triangular prism, here's one way you can show the formula B times H times L. Now let me explain what all this means. The B and the H are the base and the height of the triangle. So a triangular prism is made up of two triangles. There's the front and then there's the back. If I were to add that in there. So the two triangles, the front and the back, and then the rest are rectangles. So for the volume, you do the base and the height of the triangle. And then L represents the height of the prism or the length of the prism, depending on how you look at it. But this part is not in the triangle. Another way I like to explain it in words is the area of the base, which is, remember, base times height divided by 2 of a triangle, times the height of the prism. I'll put height slash length of the prism, not the height of the triangle. So this is the height of the triangle. This represents the height of the prism. And the reason why it's called the height is if you imagine like taking this and flipping it up so it's like laying flat on the triangle, then it would be the height. Okay, so either way you want to look at it, we'll just take that information and plug it in. So this one, they gave us some extra, well, one extra number. Notice that here's the triangle, that's the base, even though it's not on the bottom, it's still the base. The base of the triangle is 12. The height of the triangle, remember the base and the height of a triangle have to be perpendicular, is 5. And then this would represent your L, your length of the prism or your height of the prism. So this is going to be 12 times 5 times 3 divided by 2. So then you would just put it into the calculator. Remember, you do the numerator first. So you're going to do 12 times 5 is 60, times 3 is 180, divided by 2 is 90. So 90, and that's going to be cubic meters. Okay, so that's not a rectangular prism, a triangular prism. Next, we have a cylinder. So a cylinder is like that canister of paint I just had, or like a can. The volume, again, just like this one, is the area of the base times the height. For a cylinder, the base is a circle. So if you remember, we learned that the area of a circle, last time we learned this, is pi r squared. So area of the base times the height of the prism. So you'll need a height and you'll need a radius for this one, which is what we have here. So this is going to be pi times 15 squared times 23. That's the height. So this is the area of the circle times the height of the cylinder. So it's important that you do this exponent first. So you can do pi. 15 squared is 15 times 15, which is 225 times 23. And if you multiply all that out, you get 16,257.74 cubic millimeters. So that's your cylinder. Okay, next we have a pyramid. So you can have square pyramids or rectangular pyramids. My example is a rectangle, but you could have a square on the bottom. You still do the same thing. This is the same idea. It's length times width is the area of the base times the height of the pyramid, but this one is divided by 3. If it wasn't divided by 3, that would be a rectangular prism. So we're going to do 7 times 4, that's the area of the base, times the height of the pyramid divided by 3. So if you do 7 times 4 times 8 in your calculator, you get 224. And then divide by 3, and it's approximately 74 point, it was 6 repeating, so I'll say 67 centimeters cubed. So that's a pyramid. Cone, same idea. Again, area of the base times the height of the cone divided by 3. So pi r squared times the height divided by 3. So here we have our radius, here we have our height of the cone. So this is going to be pi times r squared, so that's 12 squared, times the height of the cone divided by 3. So we want to do the exponent first. So that's going to be pi times 144 times 25, and then divide by 3. So again, you want to do the numerator first. Pi times 144 times 25, get that, and then divide by 3. And for your final answer, you would get 3,769.91 cubic meters. And that's for the cone. Last one is a sphere. A sphere is 4/3 pi r to the third. This is r to the third power. I'll show you how to put that in the calculator. Another way you can write this to make it easier to put in the calculator is 4 pi r to the third over 3, like that. That's how I do it. So this one, you just have a radius you're plugging in. Okay, so we have 4 pi 7 to the third over 3. Now 7 to the third is not 7 times 3. Remember, it's 7 times 7 times 7. So to do that in this well, you could just do 7 times 7 times 7, I guess. But you could do 7 to the third. So I did 7, that button, and then 3. It's 343. If you have a phone calculator, I can show you how to do that in just 1 second. Grab my phone. Okay, so if you have an iPhone, if you don't have an iPhone, I don't really know how to help you. Sorry. But if you have an iPhone, you would just hit 7. And then right here, next to the square button, there's a cubed button. It's kind of blurry, but you would just hit that. And it tells you 343. Okay, so then you would multiply the top. 4 times pi times 343, get that answer. Divide by 3 to get your final answer is 1,436.76 cubic inches. And that's the sphere. So that's it for volume, and I'm going to have you guys practice on IXL again. So if you have any questions about anything, just let us know. All right, have a great day.